Hello, and welcome back to another gameplay video. This time, I'm going to be going over the drafts a little bit, try and rationalize some of the decisions that we made. I avoided it in the last game because it was done at a slightly lower level, and more often than not, people just pick what they want to play. It still happens at higher levels, but happens less often, and people pick more often so that the team can do better. Talking about the bans, pretty standard. First ban Torwald in an attempt to get the Makoa maybe if the other team decides to ban someone else instead of the Makoa. But they ended up banning the Makoa. So with those two tanks out of the table, it pretty much leaves only 4, maybe 5 viable tanks left in the pool. The first pick on our side was the Moji. Moji's been doing really well lately on mid to higher levels. The legendary card that gives you the movement speed and the health has been serving the team really well, and you can see some examples of how it came into effect in this game. I'll try and point it out when it comes to that moment. The Moji pick was followed by a Cassie, which is pretty standard. Cassie's probably still one of the best damage dealers out there. And on Serpent Beach, she definitely can be used effectively. However, the second pick following the Cassie was a Meave. I'm not really sure I agree with that. Meave's not really been doing too well lately, and the obvious choices for flanks are still open. Talus, Zin, even Buck are pretty much all preferable to Meave. But it's okay. I've seen some Meaves do really good work, but in my opinion, I would never have Meave over a Talus or Zin. So the next two picks on our side was the Ashe and the Genos. Pretty standard. Genos has been doing really well since OB67 gave Genos the reduced cooldown. So Genos has been picked up a lot more frequently.
Do it.
And Genos has been able to do a lot of work. High heal output and strong ulti and decent damage to contribute.
Oh yeah, put the hat on. Put the hat on, it's great. I like that hat.
Enemy team then followed up with a Ruckus and a Nando pickup. Since we picked the Ashe, I would have liked to see an Inara and Ruckus pickup over a Nando and Ruckus pickup if I was on their team, because when you pick both Ruckus and Nando, it just incentivizes picking Wrecker, and when you stack the shields on top of each other like that, then a good champion with Wrecker can get rid of the shields really quickly, and negating 2 skills from the tanks. So usually I like to balance it out with one tank with a shield and one tank without a shield. But they decided to go for 2 tanks with shields, which is fine. Which left the Inara open for us, so I went ahead and grabbed the Inara. Inara's generally a pretty good tank in almost all situations, so it's hard to go wrong with Inara. And then we finished it off with a Shaolin. I was looking to have a damage champion that can effectively drop the shields with Wrecker, and Shaolin's a pretty good candidate for that. So I suggested a Shaolin pick, and my team decided to go for it, so we ended up with a Shaolin. And the last pick on their side was a Ceres, since they hadn't picked a support yet. It was either Ceres or Damba. Both are good right now, so nothing to mention about that.
I will fight to protect the sanctity of the wild.
Moving on to the game itself, you can see my loadout there. Pretty standard stuff. I consider loadouts to be pretty subjective, depending on playstyle and such. And I found that loadout works with my playstyle best, so that's what I've gone with. There are loads of loadouts that can work just as effectively, or maybe even better, depending on how you play them. So I decided to go for the cauterize first, because it's against Osiris. Usually, with most champions, I like to pick up a cauterize first, no matter the situation. Now here is an interesting thing. I went on the right side. I started off going on the right side, peeking without really engaging first, and as I was there on the right side, I heard the Meave and Cassie over on the left side. So without getting off my mount, I charged in on them, and I managed to get a good trap on both Cassie and Maeve, which allowed us to easily pick them off. Once Cassie and Maeve were down, it was an easy matter of cleaning up the rest of them, which my team just finished up right there. So first point, pretty easy. Sandwiching the Cassie and Maeve there right at the start of the round really helped us get that strong start and helped us keep the momentum forward. So I'm just sitting back here right now, poking away, trying to apply cauterize when I can. I hear the Meave come up on the roof over there, so I peek there every now and then to check. And she comes up again, get a few good shots into her. So here I see I'm taking a lot of damage, so I just wall myself off and wait for the Geno seal to apply. So here I put the Wardus field right around the corner there, so Ruckus can't chase me around the corner since I was pretty low. Once I was safely around the corner, I just waited for the Geno seal, which came. And then with my guard, earthen guard, I managed to heal up pretty quickly over there, getting back into the fight and securing the kill on Nando and Ceres, and staggering them out pretty well. Just kept a wall there just to be safe, to make sure they couldn't come through and trigger, stop the payload. So it was pretty convincing first round and first push. We are in a good position right here. We have to make sure that we try and repeat some of the same things that we did first time, so that we can get the point again and push in for the victory. So I was deciding what items to buy here, and I decided to go for the Master Riding, because I figured if I can do the same thing I did previous round and catch Cassie off guard again and secure the kill on Cassie, lock it down, we'll have a good shot. Unfortunately, as I was going inside to maybe get the flank on Cassie, Meave ulted, pretty much negating my efforts. So here, I made two mistakes. The first mistake over there was to stay on the point a bit too long, instead of helping my team right away. And the second mistake was, once my team had died, or rather once Ash had died, I decided to go in, instead of continuing to stay on the point and get some of that objective time down. I think we get the kill on the Ruckus over there, pretty clean kill. And we're pushing them back. I get a bit tunnel visioned on Cassie here, and we managed to get it down, but it's important not to get tunnel visioned on one champion just like that. Always keep an eye back on the point if you're pushing too far forward.
Get over there and escort the dang payload.
I wall off the Nando here so that he isn't in view to get healed by Ceres. I managed to get a good ulti off there, timing it just right so that it gets popped when Nando's ulti goes down. And while we secure the kill on Nando, I got down to the DPS. I'm not sure what I could have done differently there. I was not aware of my surroundings enough. Maybe I could have held out on that ulti and saved it for later. So I'm just peeking around the corner here, looking for an opportunity to jump in, maybe catch someone with the water field. I was a bit too late on the water field there, but it ended up working out in my favor because I could catch the Ceres with it, and I managed to trap her in with the wall, securing the kill on Ceres. Now that we know Ceres is down, it should be much easier to push in. I see that emoji's going in hard on the Nando when I hear the Cassie rolling around behind me, so I just turn back and I see that I just managed to finish off Cassie. I'm under heavy fire here, so I hope peek out from under the Ruckus's fire into that house over there, which is a good position to have. I managed to get an easy kill on the Ceres here. Maybe I could have done it without the cripple since she had just come out of her shadow walk. But it's okay, I wanted to secure the kill there because it's important that we get the Ceres down. So here I see I'm all alone. I tried to back up here, wall myself off and run away. Ashe managed to charge in behind me, pushing them back a bit, allowing me to get behind the wall, get behind the corner and safely heal up. But at this time it's not looking too good for us. This I was very pleased with. We used the Ashe ulti, but it managed to force out the Ceres and the Ruckus ulti, and that combination could be deadly. So being able to get that out of the way so that we can focus on capturing the next point was a big plus point on our side. So and I still have my ulti up, so we look to be in a pretty good position right now. I'm looking to get that critical first flank in again. Catch Cassie or Ceres off guard. Once we get them down, we should be able to lock the point.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
With Mass Riding 2, I should be easily able to get behind them. Peek a little bit. So I hear that a few people were coming in on the left side, so I decided to change direction and go in from the other side. So I get the cripple on Cassie, managed to secure the kill on Cassie. Unfortunately though, while I was chasing them and getting the Cassie, my team seems to have died behind me. But it's okay because we got the Ruckus and he had just come back. That was unfortunate in the sense that both Nando and I activated the ultis at the same time. But it managed to disable the Ruckus enough, and once Nando's ulti went down, Moji was able to finish him off, so all in all, not bad. So I see Neve's the only one behind us, and I'm looking at the timer ticking up, so I just quickly wall it off, focus on forward side, make sure that Maid can't get in and no one can get in.
I'm not surprised.
And we secure the victory. Pretty straightforward gameplay right there. You can really see how trying to flank in the beginning with Inara and getting a crucial cripple off on either the DPS or the healer, how it can change the tide of battle of one of those first encounters in your favor. Another thing that I didn't mention was how powerful Moji's Toot talent is. It managed to do a ton of healing while buffing my movement speed up at the same time. So not bad for 115 with 41k damage. Probably could have got a bit higher damage if I landed more of my shots. Um, but overall, not bad. So that was my
Inara.
second gameplay video. After rewatching my first one, I noticed that the quality was a bit low and I wasn't really satisfied with it. So hopefully the quality for this video has improved, and I'll try to maintain the video quality at this level for future videos as well. As usual, I appreciate any feedback and I hope you all enjoy. Bye.